Hey, here we are.
Hello.
It did move.
It did. It squished in. It's like we had it all set, and then it's like, oh, it shuffles. Hi. How are you all?
We are back.
We're back. We're
And
actually on the schedule.
It's the right night, yes. And I'm going to talk louder.
Yes.
It's just me.
Got to do your theater thing. What's the word?
Project.
Project your voice. Yes. See my new top? My mommy made it. Look, Vera's watching.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she did. I think it's cotton linen or something. Mom likes natural fibers, so.
I'm collecting.
Thanks for sewing for me, Mom.
I'm collecting fabric or clothing, so.
Okay. Yeah, I'll mention it to Mom because she's making me a dress right now. It's black with white daisies on it. It's like,
cool.
Yeah, it's very bright. The daisies are like inch that big.
Cool.
Yes, it's cool. So, happy days.
Just got told on my phone that Rosehaven Yarn
is live.
Yeah,
We're live, and one person's watching, and it's Vera
and
upstairs.
Get to work. No, we don't want people to come in because they walk and make the floor creak.
So, I'm a little obsessed with Halloween, and I know it's only August, but it's almost September, and the kids are almost going back to school. Almost. So, Vera's been fabulously knitting pumpkins. And look, there's little beads, so it looks like there's little crystals on it, like water droplets. Doesn't that look neat?
Are those knitted in?
It's strung in the yarn. So this is an orange yarn carrying this thread together with the orange. So technically that yarn is in this one. She carried two strands together to make this.
So this yarn has the beads in it?
It does, yeah.
And they're just in the yarn?
Yeah, it's already pre-threaded on there.
Wow.
Yeah, so it looks like little water droplets. Isn't that neat?
They're very cute.
A little cute. Oh, I recognize that. That's Malabrigo, that yarn.
Very cute. Whoops, it goes
Vera will type in what the name of the pattern is, right, Vera? Because I don't know what the pattern is. If she's really watching. She may just be sucking up
with the box.
Erin made this one from Chunky Monkey, and Vera made the little, that's just straight ribbing, so it just... Yeah.
What's inside?
Oh, we just put polyfill, the fluffy stuff. We just filled it with fluff, the usual soft animal fluff. This one actually has, like, you kind of pull the thread, so it kind of makes it tuck. I think it's knit in the round, and then you kind of scorch it.
And this is just ribbed to give it.
That one's just ribbed. Ribbed for your pleasure.
Very cool. Don't get me started.
And I have started I have a little witch that will fit into this hat. So this is the beginning of the little witch hat. Well, it's not, this is the hat. I have more pieces. It's an Andrew Dart pattern, and nothing is knit in the round. It's from the 80s. Erin was telling me if they're older patterns. I want to rewrite the whole thing so that it should be knit in the round. This was knit flat. Okay, I didn't. I finally went, I am done with knitting flat. So I knit it all in the round. And because even the little arm you make, it wants you to knit 5 fingers made up of like 3 stitches, and they want them to knit flat. It's like, well,
knit flat
times 10 of them, and then sew it together, and then sew it and attach it. And it's like, no, I'm going to do I-cord. But apparently, someone told me that was pre-I-cord. So we have people walking upstairs, customers. It's going to sound a little creaky.
I like it.
But isn't that we're pre-I-cord? Like you don't think of some of the stuff you've been using forever, like I-cord stuff, as a time when someone didn't know how to use I-cord. But yeah. Sorry, it's probably really loud, that creaking noise. But and so, anyways, this is this lovely lady is my Baba Yaga. She lives in the store. She protects the change that we have in case you're running the quarters and stuff. I love this little lady. A friend gave me Baba Yaga. Wow, it was in college when I met Judy. She worked for the Guild shop in Toronto, the one in Yorkville.
Okay, yeah.
So this was like handcrafted, and it's got like, she has a little pig and all these little weird bits, and I love her lips. So I've had her 30 years easily, and really sadly, Judy passed away when she was 38. She lived alone, and she got meningitis, and nobody knew she was sick. It's really sad. But anyways, and she was an amazing print artist and stuff, because we met in college in illustration. We were doing printmaking and illustration and stuff. And I don't remember why I got Baba Yaga, but this is Baba Yaga. So Baba Yaga were, Erin, I found a pattern online of a Baba Yaga. Oh, there's a pin stuck in her butt.
Yeah. Are they called that?
Yeah, Baba Yaga, I think, is a Russian term for kind of like a crone medicine woman sort of thing, I think. So yeah, she's, Vera's got the pattern up there. It's the Halloween pumpkin on Ravelry.
Pumpkin 18.
Pumpkin 18. Hey, Jane, how are you?
Oh, hi, Jane.
So the Baba Yaga is this kind of cool lady, and she's apparently lives in a house with chicken feet on the bottom, because Erin has this image that she wants to get tattooed on her arm of the Baba Yaga house. It has chicken feet. I don't understand.
I was just going to say, that sounds exactly like something I would not want to have tattooed on my body. But
it's cool though, Baba Yaga. I just like saying Baba Yaga, Baba Yaga.
I just like old ladies.
Old ladies, yeah. Anyways, she's kind of a witch, cool lady, very wise. So I was dyeing. This is still wet because it's dye day. Monkeying around with. This is my monkeying around with. If you ever find one of the yarns that are County Vacay and it says monkeying around on the label, it's because I don't know, it hasn't got a name and I'm just playing. And I always play the last 20 minutes of dyeing to come up. Like to let loose with just trying a new color. So this is something interesting. I guess technically it was this way because the green, and then it went into the sea spray, and then into that orange. I diluted the colors. Like this is actually the same color as in Mustang Nights, that hot orange, blazing orange, but I decided to tone it right down just for fun.
Do we grow peaches in the county anymore? I don't think so.
I don't know. Wapoose would have them if anybody. Yeah. I don't know, because remember Wapoose cider always makes a peach cider, right? And they only one time they would only have as much peaches as they could get their hands on.
Right.
But I understand now. I don't think that's true. I think you can have peach all the time because it's in the LCBO. Before you couldn't get the peach cider unless you went to County Cider itself. And this one is County Bounty, which is a color I came up with actually in the first bunch, but I just haven't dyed it in a while. And it's dripping on me.
That's okay. It matches your pants.
Oh, that's true. It totally does. But yeah, pretty colors. More colors. And then this one was the monkeying around from the other day, which I called Misty Twilight. Because it's got that purple tone of like twilight, the color is starting, the sun's going down, and it's got the gray fog.
And the sky is a lot like that. Only there's touches of orange.
Yeah.
Skies in August are fabulous at night. The sunsets are.
I mean, I've lived here for 16 years. Technically even longer. Mom and Dad moved here in 86. But I don't know, what's the fact? I guess because Black River where I am, there's no light pollution. And I can't go to bed at night without going and standing out in the deck and just staring up at the sky and the stars. And it's just, man, the sunsets we have.
That's what I miss most about living in town.
Oh, yeah.
And when I'm leaving the farm is just
the skies.
The lack of darkness.
Yeah.
Because when it's dark in the country and you look out at the sky, I mean, you see the sky.
Yeah.
In the sunset, there's nothing.
Yeah.
When I would look out over the farm, it would be like you looking over the river.
Yes.
You can get views where you see the river and.
That's true.
Yeah.
No.
It's never dark.
We're down quite a bit of a valley. I don't know, like 200 feet or something. And so when the sun always sets a little quicker up at the top. So sometimes when I'm coming home from work, the sun's sort of disappearing as I'm coming down the hill to go home by the rock cut. Yeah. I leave the sun behind. Oh, and this is another color that a new one, doesn't have a name, but we're thinking about. What do you think, like County Barns? Because it's got that old. Because the red is so faded. I mean, our barn really needs to be painted, but Tim doesn't want to paint it till we fix all the windowsills. But that, of course, 16 years later, is still not happening. Meanwhile, it still needs to be painted because you get that gray tone
it turns when it's not
of
painted.
The wood. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the old.
They're lovely.
Of wood.
They really are lovely.
Yeah. So that's some stuff. We've been getting in lots of new things for the fall because the gift giving season is coming. So we got new embroidery kits. Yeah, folk moose. Hook, Line, and Tinker. She's out. I think she's from out east, East Coast lady, like New Brunswick, Nova Scotia. This one, Rick Rack, is American, and then this is Toronto designer. Speaking of skies, this is the constellation star map, and it's all the fabric is in here, and
I'm looking at the flowers. Somebody else, look at this. I was looking at the flowers and thinking, well, why the hell do they call this moose? And then you stop looking at the flowers. And,
See, there's
oh
a
yeah,
moose
there's
in
this
there.
big moose head.
Yeah. So
Very
this is
cool.
the fabric for the constellation map.
Oh, neat.
So it's all, I love how these things are like pre-printed, and so it ends up
It's awfully
becoming this.
tiny, I would think.
Yeah,
I tend to like to use a bigger needle and thicker thread. Maybe baler twine would be suitable
But
for mine.
you know what? I've seen somebody, I'm kind of on your same thing, but I did see someone doing embroidery, and they were doing it single thread. You know when you take it and you split it? Single.
No,
and
I've
I have to
seen
say
it done.
it was
I
the
don't
most
know.
elegant, beautiful
Yeah.
thing, but I don't think my eyes can do it.
I know my eyes. Well, it's my eyes and my patience.
Well, yeah,
I'd hit somebody if I had to.
there's that. So that's all my goodies. What you got, Bill?
I don't have anything.
But you got a new project?
I have a new project. And my new project
Hi,
is
Joyce.
called The People I Meet. It's exciting because I just started thinking about all the people that I meet, and when I go to the Wellington Farmers Market or go for a walk and I see somebody wearing clothes I really like, I just go, if it's on my mind, it comes out my mouth. So I just shout out to people like, oh my God, I love your pants. Can I have,
No
I
filter.
want to cut them up and make them into a quilt. So I do this a lot. Well, apparently I did it in my neighborhood because a couple of days after that, my husband Larry was walking Edna, our basset hound, and some lady came out and said, oh, Larry, you're Bill's husband, right? Yes. Here, give him my pants. And this gorgeous pair of bright coral pants.
They are beautiful
Larry
color.
came home with. So he had no idea what was going on, and it just started with this fabulous idea. I want to do a bunch of quilts, and I've talked with the folks at the library who run the LGBTQ to SL, whatever.
Extension
I get
of
confused with all of
yeah,
that.
oh, yeah.
Anyway, the youth group for queer youth
Yeah.
at the library, and I thought, because I can't make quilts and sell them when people give me the fabric and make a profit from it.
Yeah.
I can pay myself, $50 to make a quilt because
Yeah.
I,
Your
spend
time,
time,
yeah.
but I can't make money from them. So they're all going to be, what does it work out to? 54 by 63 is the
Inches.
size. They'll be
Okay.
inches. And they're all just going to be 3-inch squares of fabric that people send to me. And it's really, really cool stuff. And then I'm going to put at least 3 9-inch stars in it, just wonky stars in it somewhere, so that there'll be the stars. And I've used this woman's coral pants for the first star that I made.
Yeah.
But I've also ordered some rainbow fabric because I want to put lots of rainbow stuff in it too. Because
Cool.
when I meet people, they tend to be queer, or queer positive. Because they put up with talking to me. So that's going to be my next project.
Nice.
I'm hoping to have a bunch of them done maybe for busy hands.
Oh, yeah.
And some of the Christmas markets.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm hoping too that, because it takes a lot of time to take clothes apart, that I can get some of the young folk in the community involved as well.
Okay, well, you know what? The LGBTQ youth group from the library, I have invited them to use this space, my
cool.
basement, on Fridays, because right now our library is under some crazy, amazing construction. They're adding this whole amazing atrium off the back. And of course, so they have no space to go. And they've been renting the town hall, but it's only 6 or 8 kids. And the town hall upstairs is huge and echoey, and they don't get the nice, cool, intimate space. So I've hung up more lights, and I've actually tested it, and we've turned the overhead lights off, and we have all the twinkle lights, and I have purple lights hanging, and sort of jazzed it up. Anyways, Joanna's already been, who's sort of helps, she's the leader of the group, the adult of the
Right.
group, and so she's like, oh, thank you. Thanks, Mira. So, she is going to bring the kids on Friday afternoon to see if they like the space, because she likes
cool.
them to make the decision. So maybe, since they're going to be here, we can teach them some seam ripping.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
when they're here, yeah. I haven't talked to
And I was
Joanna.
going to needle felt with them too.
I haven't
'cause
talked
everybody
to
loves
Ju-
stabbing
to-
things.
I haven't talked to Joanna to finalize
Hey,
things,
buddy,
other
hey,
than
Pat.
just we're going to do it. I think it'll be fun to do, and whether
Yeah.
they work with me or not, it's something I can work at,
Yeah.
and I can
Yeah.
do. Sewing the blocks, I either have to do all the blocks myself,
Mm-hmm.
or I've got to put sashing in between them. Because no two sewing machines, no two people have the identical,
Oh.
mind you,
right,
most of
right.
this fabric stretches hugely.
Right.
Um,
Now, does the fabric have to be a certain?
No.
So anything goes. Doesn't
Anything
have to
goes.
be cotton,
I
polyester.
bought a whole
whole
bunch
thing.
of the stuff. I can't remember right now what it's called. Fusible.
Oh.
Fusible. Yeah, they use it for cuffs and strengthening collars and
Yes.
those kinds of things.
Okay.
So a
Yeah.
whole bunch of that, but it's a thin stuff that's made for T-shirt quilts. Because
Oh, yeah.
my daughter gave me some fabulous looking stuff, but it's really, really stretchy.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I'll just put the
And it kind of gives it a bit more.
the fusible stuff on the back of it. So
Both of us can't speak today.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
not good.
it's- I-
Yeah, because it fusible, it gives it a little bit more
Fusible.
not tension. It just
It
makes
just
it a little more.
it's designed
Solid.
to make it solid, so to stop
Yeah.
it from. And people
You
who
know
do,
what we're trying to say,
people who do T-shirt quilts use it all the time,
right?
and you sew it on. It's a
Yeah,
fusible.
because T-shirt quilts are like a huge thing, aren't
They are.
People
but
that
we
collect
don't-
their concert
we don't
jerseys from the
talk about them
1980s.
because we don't want to do them.
they?
I don't want to do them.
Yeah.
Although I did see a workshop from a fabulous woman who does memory quilts using people's clothes, but she does modern ones,
Mm-hmm.
and only a little bit of the fabric is in each quilt. They're really, really fun and interesting.
I know my mom did a quilt, and I still love that quilt because there's so many things from the 70s, like tops and stuff, like those cool flower
Yeah,
designs, and I
yeah.
recognize the fabric in them and remember like certain shirts, because she was always sewing clothes for me.
Anyway, if people want to do this, want to be part of it, just either go to my Facebook or my Instagram, and you'll find my address there. And the first parcel that I got was from Edmonton, Alberta, which is very cool. Somebody in
Wow.
Edmonton sent me stuff. So, yeah, and people,
Fun.
or you can drop it off. I'm at the farmer's market, or you can drop it off at my studio on the main street of Picton. Most days I try to be there from 10 till 5, except on Wednesdays, when I'm here. But it's in the Armory, and it's 2F at the very back. So that's, and I'm still working on quilts for my, I have my show coming up still, and I'm
Oh
still,
yeah, October.
I want to get 2 more quilts done for that.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually looking at the, reading the email from, do you guys get the email from Prince Edward County Art Council? Is it Art Council? I don't know.
County Arts.
County
Yeah.
Arts? Yeah, because they're really good. Like, I actually took the time and read through it. Because it does tell you about all the different things, shows coming up. It tells you about grants, about galleries looking for submissions.
Yeah.
Apparently Melt is doing one, something about junk in October or something, like recycling something.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there's some, because I am supposed to be doing more art. Of course, all I've been doing is dyeing yarn. I
Well,
have to do
and
more.
that's, you just have to, sometimes you just have to say no to what,
Making a living?
what, no.
Dyeing the yarn? Oh, to the gallery stuff?
Well, you just have to decide what you want to do. I have turned down so many teaching and speaking, and because I can't. I'll go nuts. I have to focus on
I'm
what I
organizing
really
the
want
teaching.
to do.
I know, because people have been asking me about doing teaching and stuff, and it's like, I just have so much on my plate. We do have a rug hooking class, a beginner's rug hooking class. It's September 24th. Louise Powers is coming in to teach. Deanne's got a whole slew of knitting classes coming up, and I'm kicking around the idea of doing a dyeing class using soft blanks because they're kind of fun and easy as a kind of a starting point. You get the basic idea. It's just tricky down here. We can't get into like full-on yarn dyeing with a group of people because I really don't have proper ventilation to have
Right.
a lot of people down here cranking out stuff. But I think the sock blank thing will be fun. I've got one on trial. I'm testing it right now to see if how to figure it out, if it'll work. Because way back in the day when we used to print them, see that basket over there of all those
Right.
prints?
Yeah.
Let me go grab it, because you could actually dye these, but they're a lot fiddlier.
But don't you just paint them?
Yes, but they have to be wet.
Oh.
So because they're wet, when you paint them,
It's basically like dyeing.
you're painting on them with a sponge because you got to have lots on there, and when
Right.
you touch it, it bleeds past
Right,
the edges. So
right.
you've got to have kind of the perfect amount. You've got to set your brush a little bit inside, and then of course it bleeds over his teeth and everything. But So Tim illustrated these and took them to Sparkbox and screen printed them.
Oh, really?
So I don't think there's any Halloween ones. We did have a Halloween one. That was the most popular, the little lumberjack
Feel
beaver.
nice.
Yeah, it's an 80-20 nylon, 80% wool and 20% nylon fingering weight. So you basically, this is the canoe guys, the moose and the bear. These are 435 yards,
Wow.
maybe a bit more, and you unwind them. So of course you're going to lose the picture. You unwind them and then you knit them into socks.
But you keep the color.
But the color is there, and the idea is that you've got this cool image within your socks. It's all looks just dashes and dots of the color and the print and stuff, and all the colors are in here. Though interestingly, a woman, can't remember her name, she's part of the Toronto Knitters Guild. She took this one, and I had this one dyed with a sunset, so it was like red canoe and blue, and it was like bright yellow. She, because it repeats 3 times, she chalked out one section, sewed it into the back, and then knit around it and knit this. So it actually, she kept that image in the back of her cardigan.
Oh, cool.
She showed it to Tim and
Those
I,
would be a
and said it was
fabulous
amazing.
Christmas present, wouldn't
Yeah.
it?
And see, then there's the little, we just did little dancing sheep, and each one is like, this is the one print, and then he prints it 3 times, so it fits across 3 times. And then he did the sheep with blue ink instead of the black.
So can you buy just these not colored?
Yeah.
Take them home and color
I
them
have
yourself?
200 of them sitting here because
cool.
we were going to make tons of them. This is the
Well,
robot
listen,
one
buy
Tim
them,
made,
give them to your kids
and get
to
them to
give
paint
to
on
their
them.
mothers
Yeah.
for Christmas.
So
Or
these
their
are
fathers.
what
Sorry if I
robot.
sounded
This is the
sexist.
robot dreams. What's robot dreams about? Coffee, donuts, ice cream. What else is in here? That's another robot. We did have. Yeah, this is just one I was playing around with. Like, I mean, that's the thing. You can dye these and do whatever. But we did have a Halloween print, but I don't see. I think all the Halloween ones sold. So these are all we have printed. Because of COVID, Tim couldn't go to the studio and print more. So. Yeah.
Well, then it's a buy in person kind of thing anyway. I mean, it would be hard to buy online because
Yeah,
you want to kind of see it.
I'm always supposed to. I was
they're all
supposed to
different.
dye them all the same, like all the
Yeah, right.
lumberjack was same. But
Yeah, how do you do
know
that?
me. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or you do
there's-
2 at
I'm
the
not.
most.
It's like,
and
well,
then
I'm
it's
bored.
like-
I don't want to do a
Exactly,
sunset sky. I
exactly.
want to do a blue sky. I want to do a purple sky. I'm
I want a
bored.
cloudy sky.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm constantly monkeying
Well, that's
around,
cool.
so,
I'm
yeah.
thinking about offering a class. 'Cause people keep talking to me about a quilting class. Well, I hate, I don't know anything. So what I think I'm going to do is see about, at some point in time, putting together a class for either for people who've never quilted before or people who would like to learn how to break every single quilting rule that there is. Just
Yeah.
to take risks and just
Yeah.
to try things you've never tried before, and just kind of what I do, I guess, but it's,
Right,
it's
because we
pretty
had talked
easy.
to Nat about doing that.
We did.
There.
We did.
But you'd have to bring your own sewing machine.
You have to bring your own sewing machine, but I'd like it to be like a retreat, and that's what started me thinking about these quilts that I'm doing right now, the People I Meet quilts, because they're all going to be a 9 block.
Yeah.
Every single, it's going to be
So like a crazy
6
quilt
times
idea.
7 is 42, 9
Right.
9
Yeah, 'cause,
patches.
we were talking to Nat, who owns Jackson Falls.
Yeah.
With Jackson Falls
In.
Country Inn. It's in near Milford. I've had a couple retreats there. It's fantastic. It's a 1800 schoolhouse. It's still got the original chalkboard.
Yeah.
Like, it's just such an
Yeah.
amazing
I
inn.
used to live beside it,
Yes.
but you didn't know me then.
No, I didn't.
When we lived
No.
close together, we
No.
didn't know each other, which is good.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We've known each other.
It's, I don't know, 10 years?
Yeah, at least a decade. Oh, and I forgot about this one. So Vera took. This is my hand-dyed opening night at the Regent.
Wow.
Now, check out this. It's like little marquee lights, just like the whole colors of the Regent Theater opening night at the Region is about the marquee lights, because there's actually this kind of electric green and stuff. Is that not the cutest little
That
shawl?
is incredible.
Yeah.
I think some
And
little
the
boy would
pattern-
really enjoy that. I'm serious.
This
don't
is
giggle.
3S shawl. It's free on Ravelry, and yeah, that's opening night at the Region.
It's
One skein.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's really, and it's super. I mean, it's just garter stitch, a little bit of eyelet. She said it was so simple. They actually just say, oh, knit for a bit, and then throw in an eyelet row whenever you feel like it.
It feels nice too.
It is. I mean, this is superwash merino, 80%,
Yeah.
so it is nice. And my DK is 100% merino, so you gotta love the merinos.
You do. And they're
Yeah.
gentle sheep too. I had a few and I
Melodies.
kind of liked them. I just, they were just, well, they're just boys. So.
Oh, okay.
But they were nice boys.
because we
They
don't,
weren't-
we can't get the soft merino in Canada. Like if they were fiber ones, wouldn't get it as soft as you can if they were living in New Zealand, say,
Well,
right?
you would. The problem is that we can't get the stock. The
Oh.
stock is different.
Oh,
The
okay.
stock that we have here,
They won't give us the real stuff.
well, and it's just, part of it is just the way that it's raised.
Mm.
Like thousands of them just kind of wandering around and,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know, and
And eating that, the grass is different.
eating nothing.
Everything.
And, yeah. We feed our animals too well, which makes, well, seriously, have you seen a sheep pasture in Australia? I mean, there's nothing. You look at them, now they have thousands of acres to graze on, but you look at them and you think, what are you eating? We actually got out of the car to
I
look
didn't
at
know.
it, because it's.
I picture New Zealand as this lush.
No,
you know,
well, I've been to New
green.
Zealand, but Australia, where they have them, more inland, Tasmania
Yeah.
in the middle. I don't know what they
It's
eat.
very scrubby.
It's very, very scrubby.
Oh,
And they walk and walk and walk and walk, and they're dirty and dusty.
right.
But yeah, they're
Hmm.
beautiful. They still smell like sheep. I love that smell.
This whole downstairs smells like vinegar and sheep right now
Yeah,
because of
yeah,
dying.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
always that lovely smell.
Yeah.
Well, cool. That was fun. Anything else?
I don't think so. I don't know what else is exciting.
Good chatting with you guys.
It is. I'm starving, but I have supper done already. It's just
Oh,
nice, you
that's
know.
good. I think we're having leftovers tonight. I was
We have
told.
two, but the leftovers were absolutely magnificent when they
Yes,
were
I
first
was.
over last night.
Yes. We had vegetarian shepherd's pie with cheesy mashed potatoes.
I think that's an oxymoron of one of those,
Yeah,
a shepherd's pie?
I don't know. It's got beans
A
in it.
vegetarian
It's-
pie.
Yeah, it's a veggie
Leave
pie.
the shepherd out of it. He's
That's
out
true.
there eating meat.
That's true. He's got to keep his protein levels up.
Yeah.
Keep himself going. And then Bob can say bye. We're going big on with the. We're trying to create Halloween Town on Picton Main Street. We're trying to get all
Really?
the stores on Main Street to go full out with decorations.
Well,
and
maybe
stuff, so.
maybe once October gets here.
Yes. Well, I mean, you got to knit all this stuff ahead of time, so that's why. Yeah, and Erin's knitting a Baba Yaga, and so this Baba Yaga, the hand is probably 2/3 smaller than a real hand. It's creepy, and it's all got the knuckles. This is the coolest looking Baba Yaga on them. It's very
There you
cool
go.
looking. Which found it on Ravelry, and she has sewn clothes, but Erin can sew, so it's
But
good.
the 31st is a Monday.
It's a Monday. Yep.
Okay, the
Yep.
29th is Halloween at the last Wellington Farmers Market of the year at the Eddy Hotel.
Are they doing a Halloweeny thing?
Maybe, but I don't dress up. Because what I tend to do is, I think last time I dressed up as a fat old gay man. I'm really good at that costume. I got it down flat.
I have
pat.
so many witch hats. I actually dress all my mannequins up in costume in the store. And I put witch hats everywhere.
Well, I don't know.
Everyone
I
gets a witch hat.
do one where I do this old man with a speech impediment, but it scares kids away. It scares my dog.
Don't do that.
It
then.
scares Larry, yeah.
No,
So-
we don't. Yeah, I actually had a meeting with the BIA person, Mark Rose, just this afternoon, talking about this whole concept of actually having Halloween Town in Picton. So like make it this place so that all of October we draw the tourism in shoulder season people, and the whole idea of having, like, even close Main Street Halloween Day, putting a cemetery, like, kind of like when we closed Canada Day thing.
Just make
But-
sure that people still go into art galleries and buy quilts, because
Yeah.
that's when my quilt show is on. My art
Right,
show is
yes. So anyways, because of construction, we can't even do it this year anyways, but he was talking about tying into Benson Park and try to do it, like, do
on. Talk to the Department of
basically
Illumination.
doing more. I already did, not
There
done
you
that,
go.
because they have their Lantern Festival, but I think that's in November. So, but if we can tie it all together. But anyways, because someone was saying, well, what about Christmas? We got to do all out for Christmas. I'm like, but keep in mind, if you draw them in for Christmas, you draw them in for Halloween, and then you give them a coupon saying, hey, come and spend money before Christmas. You've got them, because I know Napanee has a
Yeah.
wonderful light show. I know Belleville is doing
Yeah,
some
Christmas
stuff.
is so over. Well,
It is.
it is Christmas. Everybody does Christmas.
Yeah, so if you got to get ahead of it, and you got to be different, and if we can create Halloween Town, nobody else is doing it, and then you've got this tourism draw that
Why don't
everyone
we just-
comes for the
okay,
month of October.
all
I mean, they're still coming and
But
shopping
just don't
and
forget
eating here. So.
Thanksgiving.
Well, yeah, Thanksgiving.
And
is
don't
a
forget
given.
my art show on
Yes.
the 22nd of October. It opens. I think it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Hey, and they have free wine. You know,
Oh,
like it's,
okay, I will totally be
yeah,
there.
yeah.
I will
From
be there.
3 till 6, and if you're there at 4 o'clock, they interview the artist. I've started
Oh,
going to
okay.
them just so I can see what kind of creepy questions you get asked.
You'll be fine.
I don't know.
You'll be dangerous.
I don't know. Yeah.
Gotta rein it in there, mister.
Anyway.
Pumpkin, say goodbye.
Goodbye.